Good morning, viewers. So today I wanted to talk about what it's like having your own fashion brand, particularly streetwear brand, and what it's like, what the problems are with it, how it is starting a brand in 2025, what I would do differently if I was going to start again. So let me just give you some background. So first of all, I started my brand, Poet Archives, back in about 2018. That was back when streetwear brands like Supreme and Stussy were at the rise, and Supreme was first starting to blow up. Everyone was wearing it, everyone was waiting for the drops. I even remember a few times like waiting during class or going to the bathroom during class just to get the latest drop and resell it on Depop. Well, anyway, what inspired me was that when selling those Supreme t-shirts, I could sometimes make £30-40 just reselling them. So this gave me the idea of reselling other things. So I started going around to charity shopping, currently it was actually in Rugby and other places around there in the UK where I started charity shopping. I started putting it all on Depop, and for about a year or two I started selling stuff on Depop, making a little bit of a profit, maybe 30-40%. Anyway, what gave me the idea was those Supreme drops, and I thought to myself, wow, it'd be great if I could make a graphic tee myself. So I started designing my first graphic tees, and actually some of them started to sell now and then. I was very surprised by this, but obviously because they kept selling now and then, it was only very small sales at the start. It was maybe I would sell one original graphic tee for like, I don't know, £15 once a week, for example. But this was enough to motivate me, and I kept making them. And you know, now I've got about 100 products on my website. I get a few, like maybe 20-30 visitors a day on my website, 1 to 2 sales a day, which I'm very happy with, by the way, because not only that, I also make sales on other platforms such as Depop, Etsy, eBay. Now I've just started an Amazon account. So what would be my tips to someone starting out right now? So first of all, I would 100% write yourself a business plan. You have to write yourself a business plan and outline exactly what sort of audience you are looking to target with your brand. So age-wise, what they're interested in. The more niche and specific you make your brand, the more likely someone is to buy it, because of the fact that there is millions and millions of brands. Just because making a clothing brand is one of the easiest business ideas there is. Literally all you need is a supplier, an idea, and you've got a business. So what I would recommend is going as niche as possible. I don't know, I saw on Instagram the other day, for example, some guy made a brand with just beanies that had like the face of a frog on it, and his whole brand was based on this, just being like a funky brand that sells beanies with frogs on it. And this guy has like 100,000 followers on Instagram. So which goes to show that all you really need is one unique product idea, and you can base a whole business on this. So first of all, write out your business plan, get your audience sorted, who you want to sell to. So once you've got a business plan, you've already sort of thought about setting up a company or whatever you have or you have not. What I would definitely do 100% is from the get-go is get yourself an Excel spreadsheet, work out your costs, all of your costs. So that be the platform selling fees, or the cost of running a website, the cost of your product, the cost of your packaging, the cost of postage, work out all of that, put it into an Excel spreadsheet, and whatever you sell the t-shirt for, or the trousers or whatever, also put that into the spreadsheet. Find out how much net profit you're actually making, and that is actually a good way to also find out what you should be selling your product as. So for example, it costs you £15 to make a pair of trousers. You don't really want to be selling that for 16, 17, 18 pounds, because after fees you literally have no profit left. So I would definitely, for example, for t-shirts, I would definitely target sort of like 30% net profit, 40% max, maybe, so that you're making £5, £6. You cannot expect to start a clothing brand and start selling t-shirts with 150% profit, because no one is going to buy them. Even if you have the best quality in the world, no one knows what your brand is. No one really cares, to be honest. So yeah, try to make a few sales and see where it goes from there. You never know, you might be a crap graphic designer and no one is going to buy your product, or you might be the next best thing since like Jean-Michel Basquiat, in which case people will buy your product, and that will keep motivating you to come back and to keep making products and t-shirts. For example, in my case, this being graphic t-shirts. And yeah, basically the public will tell you if it's a product that they want. It is worth doing research of what you want to make and what is lacking in the market first, before you do set out to make a product. Because there's no point making a frog t-shirt if there is 30 frog t-shirts on Depop, 30 frog t-shirts on Temu, generally, exactly Temu, because Temu, I mean, that is like eating up market share when it comes to streetwear. Because like, if you're trying to be a really cheap brand and you're making generic clothing with like slogans, like generic slogans, people just go to Temu. You have to give them something unique and premium that they will want to support your brand for. So that, take in mind. What else is a good thing to do when you're starting your brand? Another good thing to do is to, obviously, as I said, get your Excel spreadsheet, but second of all, make a separate bank account for your brand. So what this does, it really separates your personal finances from your brand finances. And what this does is you can exactly track how much you first invested into your brand, how much it's making, and it simplifies the accounting for your accountant in the future. So trust me, make a separate business account. I can recommend Monzo. It's really, really easy to make up your business account on there. Or even, well, you do have, to be honest, you do need to set up a company in the UK to be able to have a business account. But what you can do is just open up a separate general account, like a personal bank account, but just with a different bank, and use that to handle your business's finances for at the beginning. Okay, so one massive tip I would recommend is setting up as many sales channels as possible for your new brand. So people think that they will set up a brand, set up a website, and really expect people to go to that website and buy their product. Unless your marketing is on point, no one is really going to go to your website. That is why setting up an account with, for example, Depop, eBay, Amazon, as many sales platforms as you can find is amazing, because those platforms will work night and day to actually market your product and sell to customers, because they make money from it. So basically, for example, on Depop, you can list your product and boost your listing, which means that Depop takes about 12% extra off your net margin. But what this means is that they will do their best to market that product to all of their customers, all of the people that use their platform, and this will get you extra sales. So, for example, I use Depop, eBay, Etsy, Vinted, and now I've set up an Amazon and a TikTok. So as many sales channels as you can get will get you the most sales and maximize your profit at the end of the day. So that is one massive thing that I do recommend anyone do. The last thing I wanted to talk about was marketing, because there is no point in having an incredible product, an amazing product, if no one at all is going to buy it. I have witnessed this firsthand myself, where I've got a design, for example, it's one of my best designs. I'm really proud of it. I get my friends and family to check it. They're amazed with it, they love it. But I list it everywhere and no one is buying it for months, because there is so many brands out there, guys. There is so many brands out there. It's so easy to make a brand that the market is so saturated that if you just list your products and leave them be on a website, it's just going to get lost in all of the hay, and no one is going to be able to find your needle in a haystack, because there is just so much choice these days, guys. So I recommend you open up a Facebook page as soon as possible, link that to your Instagram account, open up a YouTube account, open up a TikTok page, as many platforms for marketing and social media as you can find. What that will do is streamline all of your marketing efforts into your website and into all of your sales platforms, so that you can be maximizing your sales. So what I would recommend is, for example, make a piece of content and post it across all of those channels. So what I do, for example, for me, is I'll make a piece of content, let's say styling my t-shirts, and I'll straight away post it. I'll schedule the post using Business Manager on Facebook and Instagram for the best time to post. Facebook will recommend you the best time to post for your audience, so you can just schedule a post. And then straight away, I'll take that exact piece of content, I'll post it on TikTok, and I'll post it on YouTube, and I'll post it on YouTube Shorts. So that maximizes the amount of people and really makes your content that you worked so hard to make, makes it go as far as possible. So with all of those tips in mind, guys, I really want to start a dialogue in the comments. Please tell me what your new brand is, what your chosen niche is, what products you're looking to make, and keep me updated with the process. Tell me in the comments what else is a very important thing to do when starting your brand, especially in 2025 when the whole market is oversaturated. If you want to see my brand and, for example, see how I've done it, please feel free to have a look on my website, which is www.poetarchives.com. So that's poetarchives.com. I will put a link in the description. Please have a look. If you like anything, give me a follow. Feel free to buy something. The quality is great, and I'll send out the product as soon as possible so that you can get your hands on it. Let me know if you have any more questions in the comments. Give this a like, give it a subscribe. If you like this type of videos and this is something that you think I should expand on and talk more about as a brand owner in the UK, then just let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.